Om Sai Nam everyone. Today we'll continue reading chapter 49 for Sai Satcharitra. My name is Poonam Lomor and I'm Mohanji's apprentice Acharya. We'll continue reading. The Vedas and the Puranas cannot sufficiently praise or describe Brahma or the Sadguru. Then how can we who are ignorant describe our Sadguru Sri Sai Baba? Thus, we feel that it is better for us to keep quiet in this matter. In reality, however, the observance of the vows of silence is the best way of praising the Sadguru. But the divine quality of Sai Baba makes us forget our vows of silence and inspire us to open our mouth. Good dishes taste dull if our friends and relatives are not there to partake of the dishes with us. But when they join us, the dishes acquire additional flavor. The same is the case with the stories of Baba's Leela. We can't partake of this nectar alone. Friends and brothers have to join. The more, the better. It is Sai Baba himself that inspires the stories and get them written as he desires. Our duty is to surrender completely to him and meditate on him. Practicing penance is better than pilgrimage, taking vows, making sacrifice and charity. Worshipping the Lord is better than penance, and meditating on Sadguru is thus the best. Therefore, we should chant Sai's name, think about his saying, meditate on his form, real, feel real love for him in our heart, and do all our action for his sake and by his inspiration. There is no better means than this to terminate the bondage of sansar. If we do our duty as stated above, Sai is bound to help and liberate us. And now we return to the stories for this chapter. Hari Kanoba. A gentleman from Bombay named Hari Kanoba heard about Baba's miracle from many of his friends and relatives. He did not believe them as he was doubting Thomas. He wanted to test Baba himself, so he came to Shirdi with his few friends from Bombay. He was wearing a lace bordered turban on his head and new pair of sandals on his feet. Seeing Baba from distance, he wanted to go up and prostrate himself before Baba. He didn't know what to do with his new sandal though. He went to the corner of open courtyard, placed them there and went into the masjid and received Baba's darshan. He made a reverential vow to Baba and received some udi and prasad from Baba and returned. When he came back to the corner, he found that his sandal had disappeared. He searched for them in vain and returned to his lodging very dejected. He bathed, prayed and offered Naivedya and had his meal. But all he could think about was his sandal. After finishing his meal, he came out to wash his hand when he saw a boy walking towards him. He had a stick in his hand, and on top of which was suspended a pair of new sandals. The boy said to the man who came out to wash their hand that Baba had sent him with the stick and asked him the to walk the street and shouting out loud, "Hari ka beta, chari ka peta." I told him that if Sa- I told him that if anybody claims this sandal as his before he gives them the sandal, assure yourself that his name is Hari, then he was a son of Ka, that is Kanoba, and that he wears a lace bordered turban. Hearing this, Hari Kanoba was astonished. He went to the boy and claimed the sandals. He said to the boy that his name was Hari and he was the son of Kanoba and showed him his lace bordered turban. The boy was satisfied and returned the sandals to him. Hari Kunoba knew that his lace bordered turban was visible to everyone, and Baba might have seen it. However, how could Baba know his name was Hari and that he was a son of Kunoba? As this was his first trip to Shirdi. He came there with the sole object to test Baba, with no other motive. He came to know by this incident that Baba is indeed a great soul. He got what he wanted and returned home very pleased. Now, the second story, Somadeva Swami. Now, hear the story of another man who came to try Baba, Baji, Kasha Sahib Dikshit brother. Lived in Nagpur. When he visited Himalayas in 1906, he met Somadev Swami of Haridwar at Uttarakashi. Both took down each other's name and addresses in their diary. Few years later, Somadev Swami came to Nagpur and was Baiji's guest. There he was pleased to hear Leelas of Baba, and strong desire arose in his mind to go to Shirdi and see him. He got a letter of introduction from Baji and left for Shirdi. When he reached Kopargaon, he took a tanga to Shirdi. As his tanga came near Shirdi, he saw two flags flying over the masjid in Shirdi. Every saint has a different mode of living, but different outward paraphernalia. But these outward signs should never be our standard to judge the worth of saint. But Somadev Swami did not see it that way. As soon as he saw the flag, he thought, why should a saint take a liking for flag? Does this denote sainthood? It implies that saints hanging their frame. Thus, he didn't want to go any further and said to his fellow traveler that he would go back. He said to him, Then they said to him, Then why did you come so far? If your mind gets restless at the sight of flag, how much agitated would you be on seeing the Shirdi, the Ratha, the palanquins, the horse, and other paraphernalia? The Swami got more confounded and said, Not a few such sadhus with horses, palanquins, tom I have seen. It is better for me to return than to see such sadhu. Saying this, he was about to return. The fellow traveler pressed him not to do so, but to proceed. They asked him to stop his crooked way of thinking and told him that Baba didn't care a bit of the flag and paraphernalia or for frame. It was the people, his devotees, who kept all this paraphernalia out of love and devotion to him. Finally, he was persuaded to continue his journey. Go to Shirdi and see Baba. When he saw Baba from courtyard, he was melted inside, his eyes full of tears, his throat was choked, and all his evil and crooked thoughts vanished. He remembered his Guru saying that our abode and place of rest is where the mind is the most pleased and charmed. He wished to roll himself in the dust of Baba's feet. When he approached Baba, the latter got wild and shouted, Let all our humbug paraphernalia be with us. Go back to your home. Beware if you come back to this masjid. Why receive the darshan of one who flies a flag over his masjid? It is a sign of sainthood. Remain here not a moment longer. The Swamis was taken aback. He realized that Baba was truly omniscient. The Swami knew that he was stupid in thinking those thoughts and the Baba was noble and pure. He saw Baba embracing somebody, touching someone with his hand, comforting others, staring kindly at some, laughing at others, giving Udi Prasad to some, and then pleasing and satisfying everyone. Why should he alone be dealt with so harshly? He came to realize that Baba's conduct was the result of his inner thought and that he should take a lesson from this and improve. He realized that Baba's worth was blessing in disguise. It is needless to say that later on, his faith in Baba was confirmed and he became a stone devotee of Baba. Now, Nana Sahib Chandrakar. Himant Pant concludes this chapter with the story about Nana Sahib Chandorkar. When Nana Sahib was once sitting in the masjid with Malsapati and few other, a Muslim gentleman for Bijapur came with his family to see Baba. Seeing veiled ladies with him, Nana Sahib wanted to leave, but Baba prevented him from doing so. The ladies came forward and received Baba's darshan. When one of the lady lifted her veil, when bowing at Baba's feet, and then resumed it again, Nana Sahib saw her face. He was timid with her rare beauty that he wished to see her face again. Knowing Nana's restlessness, Baba spoke to him after the lady had left. Baba said, Nana, why are you getting agitated in vain? Let the senses do their allotted work. We should not meddle with their work. God has created this beautiful world and it is our duty to appreciate its beauty. Mind will get steady and calm slowly and gradually. When the front doors are open, why go through the back door? When heart is pure, there is no difficulty whatever so. Why should one be afraid for anyone? If there is no evil thoughts in us, eyes may do their work. Why should you feel shy and tottering? Shama was there and he could not follow the meaning of what Baba said. So he asked Nana about it on their way home. Nana told him about his restlessness at the sight of the beautiful lady and how Baba knew it and advised him about it. Nana explained Baba's meaning as follows. Our mind is fickle by nature and it should not be allowed to get wild. The senses may get restless. The body, however, should be held in check and not allowed to be impatient. Senses run after object, but we should not follow them and crave for these objects. By slow and gradual practice, restlessness can be conquered. We should not be swayed by the senses, but they cannot be completely controlled. We should curb them properly according to the needs of occasion. Beauty is the subject of sight. We should fearlessly look at the beauty of objects. There is no room of shyness or fear. We should never entertain evil thoughts. Making the mind desireless observes God's work of beauty. In this way, the senses will be easily and naturally controlled, and even when enjoying objects, you will be reminded of God. If the outer senses are not held in check, if the mind is allowed to run after object and be attached to them, our cycle of birth and death will not come to end. Object of senses are harmful. When viveka, that is discrimination, as our charioteer, we will control the mind and we will not allow the senses to go astray. With such charioteer, we reach the Vishnupada, the final abode, and our real home, from which there is no return. Let's end the chapter. Bow to Shri Sai, peace to all. Om Sai Ram, Jai Mohanji. Thank you.